Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Jack here, and look around. 7 in the morning, my backyard garden, fresh air, fresh mind, no distractions, no noise, just me, you, and the truth. I'm going to tell you something real today, something people don't want to hear, but I'm telling you anyway. So this title is going to get a lot of clicks. I know that. Never get a girlfriend after 60. That's controversial. That's going to piss some people off, and I get it. But before you click away, before you leave a comment saying I'm wrong, just hear me out, because what I'm about to tell you, it's not about dating, it's not about relationships, it's actually about something much more important, and it changed my life. See, everybody thinks that getting older means you're done, right? You hit 60, you hit 65, and society tells you, okay, your life is over. You're supposed to slow down, sit in a recliner, watch TV, and for a lot of guys, that's exactly what happens. But here's the thing. I realized something about 5 years ago, something nobody talks about. The reason you don't get a girlfriend after 60 isn't because you're too old. It's because you don't take care of yourself anymore. Think about it. Think about a guy at 60. How does he look? How does he feel? How does he move? Most guys, they're tired, they're soft, they've let themselves go. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying it because I was that guy. I worked 40 years. 40 years. I was providing. I was doing my job. I was being responsible. But somewhere along the way, I stopped being attractive. Not because I was old, but because I stopped taking care of myself. Now, a woman at any age, whether she's 40, 50, 60, she's not looking for an old man. She's looking for a man who takes care of himself, who has energy, who can actually do things with her, who looks good and feels good. And here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. Most guys after 60, they don't fit that description. They're on 5 medications. They're exhausted all the time. They've got joint pain everywhere. They can't keep up. So yeah, never get a girlfriend after 60. That's true if you're that guy. But if you're not that guy, if you've actually taken care of your health, if you look good, if you have energy, if you can actually be present with someone, everything changes. I remember the moment it hit me. I was about 58. I was at the grocery store with my wife, and I saw an old friend, an old colleague from work. I hadn't seen him in maybe 5 years. He looked old, and I don't mean that in a kind way. I mean, he looked like he'd given up. He was overweight. He was moving slowly. He looked tired, just standing there. And my wife, she whispers to me, Jack, you're heading down that same road. That stung. That really stung. But she was right. I was getting soft. I was getting tired. I was starting to look like that guy. And I was only 58. So I asked myself a hard question. I said, Jack, what do you actually want for the next 20 or 30 years? Do you want to be that guy, or do you want to be different? And I decided right there that I wasn't going to go down that road. Now, everything starts with one thing, and that's what you eat. You can exercise all you want, but if your nutrition is garbage, nothing changes. I started looking into what I was eating, and it was bad. I mean, really bad. Processed stuff, sugar everywhere, junk. That's when I discovered something that sounds weird, but it works. A carnivore diet, mostly animal products, meat, eggs, butter, that's it. Now, I know that sounds extreme. I know people are going to say, Jack, that's not healthy. You need vegetables, you need whole grains. But here's what I found. My body doesn't need vegetables. My body needs nutrients, and animal products have all the nutrients I need. Within the first month, 20 pounds gone. My energy came back. I started looking better, but more than that, I started feeling attractive again. That sounds weird to say, but it's true. When you lose weight, when you have energy, when you look in the mirror and you don't hate what you see, everything changes mentally too. It's been 10 months now, and I'm not exaggerating when I say I feel better than I did at 45. At 45, I was still taking care of myself a little bit, but I was already getting soft around the middle. I was tired. I didn't have the energy I have now. At 63, I feel like a different person. My clothes fit different, not because I bought new ones, but because my body is different. I've got definition. I've got muscle. I look like a man who takes care of himself. And you know what that does? That builds confidence, real confidence, not fake, pumped up gym bro confidence, but the kind of confidence that comes from knowing you're actually taking care of yourself. A woman can sense that. She can see it. She can feel it. That's why the title says, never get a girlfriend after 60, because if you're the guy you've been being, yeah, That's true, but if you're the guy who actually gets his health together, everything changes. Let me be specific about what actually shifted. The way I move, I'm not stiff anymore. I'm not creaky when I get out of bed. I can move fluidly. I can bend down. I can pick things up. I can be active. Energy levels, this is huge. I wake up and I'm ready to go. I'm not dragging. I'm not tired at 3 p.m. I can do things. I can take someone out. I can be present. My appearance, this matters. I know some people don't want to hear that, but it does. I look healthier. I look younger. My skin is better. I don't have the puffiness that comes from eating garbage. My mental clarity. This is something people don't talk about. When you eat well, when you're healthy, your mind is sharper. You're more interesting. You can have real conversations. Confidence, real, genuine confidence, not arrogance, but the kind of confidence that comes from knowing you're taking care of yourself, that you're not a burden, that you can actually bring something to a relationship. Now, I went to see my cardiologist about 6 months into this, and he was shocked. He said, "Jack, what are you doing? Your numbers are incredible." I told him about the diet, about the change in my lifestyle. He was skeptical at first. I get it. Most doctors are taught one thing in medical school, and then they hear about something different, and they immediately assume it's wrong. But after he saw my blood work, he got it. He took me off 2 of my 3 heart medications. 2. Because my body actually improved. That's not insignificant. That's not me following some fad diet. That's actual medical improvement based on real data. My cholesterol, it's stable. People think if you eat meat and butter, your cholesterol explodes. Mine didn't. It remained stable. My inflammation markers, way down. My rheumatologist, I see him every 6 months. He took one look at my blood work and said, "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it." My blood sugar, completely stabilized. I had hypoglycemia my whole life. My sugar would just drop randomly. Scary stuff. Now, stable. Here's the thing about aging, about getting older. You're not automatically unattractive because you're 60 or 65 or 70. You're unattractive because you've stopped taking care of yourself. And the moment you start, the moment you actually commit to your health, everything changes. A woman, a quality woman, isn't looking for a 25-year-old body. She's not. She's looking for a man who respects himself, who has energy, who can be an actual partner. And if you're that guy, if you look good, if you have energy, if you're engaged and present, you're magnetic. I'm not saying you're going to be young forever. I'm not saying you're going to look 40, but you're going to look healthy, and that's attractive at any age. Now, this isn't complicated, and it doesn't cost a fortune. I spend about $50 a week on food. That's it. Eggs, bacon, chicken, ground beef from Costco, regular grocery store stuff. You don't need to be rich to do this. You don't need to have expensive food. You need to make a choice. And that choice affects everything. Your health, your appearance, your energy, your confidence, all of that flows into how attractive you are to other people. The title says, "Never get a girlfriend after 60. Here's why." And the answer is because you've let yourself go. Not because you're old, not because you're past your prime, but because you've decided that taking care of yourself doesn't matter anymore. I'm here to tell you it does matter. It matters a lot. I changed how I eat. I changed my health. And I'm more confident at 63 than I've ever been. That's not luck. That's not genetics. That's a choice. If you're watching this and you're over 50, over 60, and you're thinking, well, I'm just getting old, that's just what happens. No, that's not what happens. That's what you allow to happen. Take 1 week, just 1 week, cut out the sugar, cut out the processed food, eat meat and eggs, simple protein, see how you feel, see how you look after 1 week, see if your energy changes, see if your mind gets clearer, see if you start feeling like yourself again. I'll guarantee you something shifts. Now, I'm not going to pretend this is all easy, because it's not. I miss having a soda whenever I want. I miss the convenience of grab-and-go snacks. I miss not thinking about what I eat, but I don't miss feeling terrible. I don't miss being tired. I don't miss not recognizing myself in the mirror. And that trade-off, it's worth it every single day. Here's what I want you to understand. You're not stuck being the version of yourself that society tells you to be at your age. You can be different. You can be better. If you want to be attractive to anyone, the first step is being attractive to yourself, respecting yourself, taking care of yourself. That starts with what you eat. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. And if you're going to try this, comment down below, tell me how it goes. I want to hear your story because maybe your story could change someone else's life. I'm Jack, and I'll see you in the next one.